Hello there, friends, and welcome back to more Bravely Default. Last time, we confronted Kami Izumi, the Swordmaster and leader of the Black Blades, and obtained his asterisk. It was a sorrowful goodbye to a respectable man, but it had to be done, and it brought the Shieldbearers one step closer to victory. In fact, I feel like the war will be over at any moment. And I thought today we would head to the Goodman's residence to see if we can give him the good news about Kami Izumi's fate. It might be just the thing to cheer them up. But first things first, let's check up on Narende Village. So, we got the Hike Helm from the level 9 Armor Shop upgrade, and an X Potion from the level 9 Trader upgrade, and a Zeus's Wrath from the Combat Item Shop, and that's about it. I think today we're going to be upgrading the weapons shop, and only the weapons shop. It's 54 hours. I gotta commit all my workers to this. But we will obtain the Mitsuno Kami. So let's go ahead and upgrade that. It's a pretty powerful katana, so I want to get my hands on it as soon as possible. Well, with Narende Village down and out, let's go say hi to the Goodmans.
I've been expecting you. Thank you so much for what you have done.
Oh, Commander Goodman. It's good to see you at home for a change.
I came as soon as I could when I heard the Wind Vestal was holding a banquet in my honor.
A banquet?
My wife is also most pleased. You can see she's all in a bustle getting things ready. I did wonder at seeing the names of Officers Steiner and Neuer on the invitation. How did you know the names of our Shieldbearer officers, Vestal? I don't remember introducing you.
Hold on. You've lost me, I'm afraid.
Well, I received your letter saying that you'd like to hold a banquet at my residence.
I have no recollection of sending such a letter.
Is that so? Strange. I'm quite certain it was signed in your name.
Never mind that, everyone. The banquet shall be ready soon.
Well, I'd hate to put this food to waste. And Eleanor seems so happy.
Indeed. We would be delighted to join you.
Excellent. Please, this way.
I say, the Wind Vestal is much younger than I had imagined.
She may be young, but I hear she's quite capable. They say she's already saved our hides several times.
Allow me to introduce everyone. These are my chiefs of operations. My closest advisors, you might say.
My name is Saranish Steiner. It is a great honor to walk in the light of your countenance, Lady Vestal.
I am Savish Neuer. I'm very glad to make your acquaintance, Lady Vestal.
Pleased to meet you both.
Well, now that formalities are out of the way, let's head to the table.
Daniel,
What is it?
I just opened a letter that arrived this morning.
A letter? There's no sender on the back. Let me see. Daniel Goodman, Shieldbearer Commander, shall die this night.
What on earth? Is this some kind of sick joke? Who would send such a thing?
It came this morning. I think Nastasia, our servant, collected it.
I don't like this one bit.
Well, we veterans should be able to look after ourselves. We should enjoy the feast, Commander Goodman.
You are right. Are you okay, Eleanor?
Yes. I'll bring the food now.
Please accept my apologies for this disruption, everyone.
Not at all. That letter chilled my blood.
A death threat, it seems.
Ring a bell? Don't say such things.
That was Eleanor's voice!
What is wrong?
Something terrible has happened! It's Nastasia! She's dead!
Nastasia is dead. She was not breathing and had no pulse.
We believe a blow to the back of her head with a blunt object is what killed her. But we haven't found a weapon.
We've placed her body in bed for now.
I'm more concerned at the fact that the front door will not open. It seems to be sealed shut from the outside. We cannot get out!
Can't we just break a window?
I'm afraid not. This residence was formerly a stronghold. There aren't any windows on the first floor.
So that means we're trapped?
What on earth is going on? Who killed that servant?
I was preparing the food with Nastasia just before, right up until I opened that threatening letter. I noticed nothing amiss at that point.
Then it must have been you who killed her. Who else here would have had the chance?
Nonsense! Why would my wife ever do such a thing?
I have no idea. Perhaps she was the one who wrote that letter as well.
No! I would never harm a fly!
But you were the only one who could have been with the servant at the time she was killed.
Wait! The culprit will not be found through conjecture.
That said, the murderer must be among us. The front door has not been opened since we arrived, no? None have entered, and none have left. That leaves only us.
I would never accuse the Vestal. But how can we trust you other three? We know nothing about you.
That's just...
I'm sure I appear suspicious. After all, I have no memory and know not my own past.
There's no one who can attest to my background either.
Oh, for pity's sake! Why do you travel with companions of such dubious origin, Vestal?
They show up, and all of a sudden the servant dies. Isn't the timing a little convenient?
Enough. The Vestal and her companions have hardly had time to do such a thing since they arrived. And you well know how much they have aided the Shieldbearers already. I won't stand to hear the Vestal and her allies insulted.
However, in that case, the finger of blame can point only to your good wife.
Wait! Allow me to take charge of this matter for now. I would ask that you all remain calm.
Okay, let's just take a breather for a moment here. This is a lot to take in. I just wanted to go and say hi to the Goodmans, but apparently there is a banquet happening that we didn't know about, and now there's been murder? Oh, okay. Just, let's calm down. I think since we're in charge of this investigation now, I think the best place to start would probably be examining the body. We found Nastasia over here, but there's not anything we can interact with. So, let's go see her in bed.
Poking around isn't going to bring her back, ring a bell.
Yes, I know. I'm well aware, but...
Show some respect for the dead, ring a bell.
Okay, I guess investigating is not something that the main cast except for Ringabell wants to do. You know, maybe I should put him in charge of this investigation. He seems like he actually wants to be a little bit inquisitive. But let's go ahead and let's take it serious for a moment here. Eleanor, what you gotta say?
How are you holding up, Eleanor?
I can't believe this is happening. With my husband home at last, and you here for a banquet. Please believe me. I have not killed a soul.
How long had the servant girl been working at your residence?
Not long, in truth. I employed her when we took Aegel in, but it has been a blessing having her around. It was good to have someone to talk to after Aegel left the house.
Did she mention anyone that may wish to cause her harm?
No, she was a good girl. I cannot fathom why she was killed.
Don't take it too hard.
I'll try not to. Oh, let me pour some tea.
Tea is a relaxing way of calming your nerves, so I think that's a smart idea. Make sure to pour me a cup too, Eleanor. Alright, so I think it's best if we start... Let's start with Neuer here. You seem fairly inquisitive.
I trust you will ensure that we get out of this mess in one piece, Lady Vestal?
I'll do my best. Who do you think the culprit is, Officer Neuer?
The evidence all points to the wife, no? She presents herself well, and then goes and does these terrible things. Perhaps she resents Commander Goodman for not returning to his residence more often. Sending death threats before following through takes a cold, calculating criminal. The thought makes my blood curdle. If this is true, I feel so sorry for poor for the commander. He has worked hard for his country. But if you want my honest opinion, I think another may be responsible.
Another person? Who?
This is for your ears only. I have heard disturbing rumors about Officer Steiner.
Disturbing rumors?
He has worked his way up the ranks, serving with merit in many battles since the war began. Promotion after promotion, and now he is Joint Chief of Operations. I believe he wants to take command of the Shieldbearers. If the war continues, Commander Goodman may very well die in battle, and Steiner may be next in line. However, then you came along and put his achievements to shame. The war seems nearly at an end. He must have panicked. His mind is always plotting strategy, both on and off the battlefield. He must have used your name to set up this banquet.
Then why did he kill the servant first?
That is what makes him so shrewd. He is ensuring no suspicion falls upon him. First, the servant. Then he picks us off one by one as we turn on one another. Horrifying!
We know thanks to Dats and Zats that Neuer, Dats, Zats, and Steiner were close, I guess friends would not be the best word, but close allies among the Shieldbearers, and that Neuer and Steiner were competitors. So it's a little sad to see them, at least Neuer, going at Steiner's throat like this. But let's see what he has to say.
Do you have any idea who the culprit is, Vestal?
No, not yet. What are your thoughts?
The wife does appear to be the most likely suspect. However, I believe she has been framed.
Framed? What do you mean?
I'd have my eye on Officer Neuer if I were you. Something strikes me as odd about her behavior. She is obsessed with furthering her career. I doubt she'd hesitate to knock down anyone she saw as competition. Forgive me for saying this, but she'll stop at nothing to get her way. You should see the way she looks at Commander Goodman, batting those eyelashes at him. And she blatantly acts as if she's his wife in front of others. Even though he has a splendid wife back at home, she uses any excuse she can find to keep him away from her. She's always holding strategy meetings and wanting to discuss enemy raids. As you can see, Commander Goodman is a sincere, earnest fellow, and the Civil War is drawing to a close. At this rate, she'll end up a mere officer, and Commander Goodman will go back to spending time with his wife. Perhaps she saw this banquet as her chance to make a move. That is what I think, anyway. Oh, and not a word to anyone about this. If she knew I had said these things, my life would be in danger. In any case, you should consider this, Lady Vestal.
Okay, so the two commanding officers beneath Commander Goodman are at each other's throats, and Goodman's wife, Eleanor, is vehemently saying that she's not the culprit. Commander, what you got to say about this? I'm currently at a loss.
I am sorry you were dragged into this, Wind Vestal. I hope you and your companions can forgive me.
No need to apologize. I think it is your wife who needs your support right now. Perhaps you could speak with her later?
Yes, you are right. Do you have any idea as to who the murderer might be?
Not so far. Do you have any enemies, Commander Goodman?
Well, there are plenty of sword bearers out for my blood. But I'd like to think no ally holds a grudge against me. Officers Steiner and Neuer have been steadfast in their support throughout the war.
What do you know of Nastasia, the murdered servant?
Today was the first time I'd met her, actually. I've not been able to spend any time at home.
I see. Thank you for answering my questions.
I doubt that Commander Goodman is behind this, Agnes.
I feel it best that I speak with everyone, just in case.
Often, the least likely suspect turns out to be the culprit.
Even when death threats are made?
Especially when there are death threats. This whole affair has made no sense from the start. An invitation to a banquet sent in the name of Agnes, savior of the Shieldbearers. Of course, whoever is behind this invited their intended victims under the pretense of a banquet. If it was Commander Goodman, he could have conspired with his wife beforehand. They could have concocted these mysterious invitations and the death threat themselves.
If that's the case, then why kill the servant?
Killing the servant may have been a diversion before they kill their true target. Either Officer Steiner or Officer Neuer, the two who received invitations. Or both of them.
Wait, it's too early to jump to conclusions. I can't imagine why the commander would want to kill those two.
Then maybe...
Your attention, please. Until we identify the culprit, I believe it best that we all stay together. Eventually, the others will realize something is amiss. Once they do, they'll break us out of here. We just have to wait.
In the same room as a murderer? That simply will not do!
I agree! Officer Neuer and I were not mentioned in the death threat, but we certainly do not feel safe.
As long as we all stay in one place, the offender will not be able to take action. We all agree with the commander. Right, Agnes?
Indeed.
I must ask you to be patient, Officer Steiner and Neuer.
Yes, of course.
It seems we have no choice.
Are you all right, Officer Steiner?
Officer Steiner!
He's dead.
But how? What happened?
He was in agony. It must have been poison. He had just drank some tea, correct?
Poisoned? When?
The commander's wife poured tea for us all just now. The poison must have been in that! What? Officer Steiner was the only one to drink it. The rest of us had yet to take even a sip. That is all the evidence we need! It was you, you she-devil! You've shown your true colors!
Calm down, Officer Neuer.
Calm down? Commander, this woman just tried to kill you! Officer Steiner is dead! But it could have just as easily been you, the Wind Vestal, her companions, or me! Oh, perish the thought! Good heavens, no! Me? Use poison? Don't try and tell us it wasn't you! Tie this woman up immediately!
Unfortunately, under these circumstances, I cannot see how anyone else could be responsible.
But, Daniel...
I am sorry, Eleanor. I shall have to confine you in the cellar until you can be cleared of any wrongdoing. Is this acceptable, Vestal?
Yes.
How has it come to this?
There must be some kind of mistake.
Mistake? Are you still on that woman's side? She has killed twice already!
But what is her motive? Why would she kill the servant and Officer Steiner? And by means that could only point the finger at her.
We can find out what her reasons were later. At least she's now under lock and key. Now we just need to find a way out of here, and all shall be resolved. She must have been the one who jammed the front door as well. We should have questioned her.
We should go and have another look at the entranceway.
I'm not going anywhere. No way. I'm staying put until help comes.
Very well. I'll stay here with her.
Not only should we examine the entranceway, we should examine the rest of the house, now that we've, lost another member. Silent. Is there anything here? Eleanor must be behind this, in the cellar. Is there anything around this house that can help us? Well, Natasha's still there. We don't see anything, so I guess our best bet would be going to the entranceway. But what do you gotta say, Commander? I never dreamed my own home would become the scene of such a thing. At last, we can breathe a sigh of relief. Now we only need to beat the trick of opening the door out of here. I had a hard time beating that.
What's this? Everything has gone dark!
Who extinguished the lights? Watch out! I have a bad feeling about this!
Commander Goodman! Get the lights on now!
I will. Just a moment.
The lights are back!
Look! Officer Neuer!
No way.
What's wrong? I heard a scream. Ah, Officer Neuer, stay with me.
That woman did...
Woman? Which woman? Officer Neuer!
Is she... dead?
Yes.
So, she was attacked in the brief time that the lights were out?
Could the woman Officer Neuer mentioned be your wife?
Impossible. She's confined to the cellar. She had no way of killing Officer Neuer.
Could there be a secret exit out of the cellar? You've not spent much time at home, Commander Goodman, so perhaps you were simply not aware of it. Your wife, Eleanor, could have constructed a hidden passage.
Never.
She may have started a murder spree. Now she's been found out as the killer.
That's pure conjecture. There's no proof yet that Eleanor had anything to do with this.
Let's go and talk with her. That is our only path of action right now.
I'll stay here. I cannot bear to face her right now. Here's the key.
Okay. Neuer? Dead. We can't go up the stairs. We've got to head down to the cellar. Looking at all the information we've got right now, perhaps the culprit is a woman. It couldn't be Agnes. She wouldn't do this, and I don't think it's Idia. So, does that mean it is Eleanor?
Has something happened? I heard a yell from upstairs a while ago.
Have you been here the whole time?
Yes.
Let's look for a hidden passage.
A hidden passage? What are you talking about? I'm so confused.
Do you deny that you used a hidden passage to sneak upstairs and slay Officer Neuer?
I know nothing of any hidden passage.
I believe you are telling the truth, but that means we have a bigger problem. If you are innocent, then it must mean that Commander Goodman is the killer.
What? Daniel? A murderer?
Only because there is nobody else it could be.
The four of us have stayed together the whole time, so we cannot be responsible. The only other survivors here are you and your husband. Right before Neuer breathed her last, she indicated her killer was a woman. That makes you the only suspect.
But I can't see any way out of here.
There must be. Otherwise, who could be the culprit? There are no other women here. Except...
What is it?
Wait. How could we be so stupid? We have made a fatal error. We must return to Commander Goodman at once.
You're mine, Shieldbearer. The meddling wind vessel and her companions are next for the knife, so let me make good on that threat.
Commander Goodman, watch out! You saved me.
I don't believe it. Isn't that the servant, Nastasia? But she was the first to die.
I confirmed it myself. She had no pulse.
But she was the only woman in the house other than Eleanor and Officer Neuer. It seems we have been fooled by an elaborate ruse.
Who on earth are you? Reveal yourself!
It has taken all my training to keep up my death ruse this long. Now you and your companions have unmasked me.
Where is the real Nastasia?
Who knows? Perhaps she's melting away in the lava pits of Mount Karka by now. Really, your guess is as good as mine.
You fiend!
I was but a hair's breadth away from terminating my target, and then the wind vessel of all people has to show up. I certainly did not expect your arrival, I must admit, but that simply means I will add you and your followers to the list of victims to fall prey to my blade. Just as the fire vessel did at the Temple of Fire 3 years ago.
You were the one who took the fire vessel's life?
Then you are a member of the Black Blades?
That is correct. I am Konoe Kikyo, professional killer and leader of the Black Blades covert forces.
She's gone quiet. I've seen this woman near this residence before. She was just my type, so, I mean, she looked suspicious, so I chased after her, but she gave me a swift rebuff.
What? You mean this is the girl you were chasing after that time?
Here she comes!
Konoe Kikyo, the final member of the Black Blade, and a very dangerous ninja. She's behind the murders of Commander Goodman's officers. And she's a fairly dangerous target. Ring a bell, examine her. And I think I'm gonna have Agnes provide some defense bonuses. Konoe Kikyo enjoys dealing fairly light but hard-hitting attacks with criticals, and she has a lot of evasion, so we need to play very careful here. She does like to default and attack multiple times at once, so we gotta keep that in mind. 60,000 HP, human, no weakness. That's okay. We've got some special moves that can help us out with that. We're gonna be playing a little unique here, but of course, first things first, we're gonna be defaulting to get our stuff up, and hopefully she doesn't overwhelm us with damage. Ring a bell, we're gonna have you prep the Blessed Shield, and then Idia, we'll just have you default, and Agnes, we're going to have you prep another physical defense boost. Here comes Kikyo with Shippu Jinrai. This is a move that will go first no matter what in a turn. It's a fairly decent attack, but thanks to Idia's damage dispersion, it didn't do too much. It can be fairly dangerous, though, if she decides to utilize it on one target without damage dispersion, though. We're going to default again. We'll lay into her next turn. So we're gonna prep this, and I think I'm going to utilize Agnes's... I don't have Withering Ripple on. I guess I could technically cast some magic on her. Yeah, why not? We'll just cast a we'll cast a Protect on Agnes. I don't want her going down. Actually, we'll cast the Protect. Actually, no. We will cast. Let's just throw a fire at her. I want to see if I can get that Withering Ripple back. Utsusemi Technique. Basically, what this is that if she will evade the next physical attack that's coming at her, which could be fairly dangerous. But I have a way around that. And it's mostly thanks to Tiz. This is Swordmaster's real main debut, and we're going to be utilizing Nothing Ventured. Lower damage taken from a physical attack, and then we'll counter. And then we're going to be utilizing Provoke to send attacks from Kikyo towards Tiz. And then we're going to be utilizing Breaking Wave as a fairly strong attack power, and then we'll just attack Kikyo. Actually, we'll just end our turn there. And then Ring a Bell, let's go ahead and just have you heal. You're going to need to heal up Tiz, because he's going to be taking some damage this turn. Idia, we'll go ahead and have you apply a fire to your weapon. And then I still don't have Withering Ripple available, so we'll just go ahead and set up a Love Power. Let's see what happens here. There's Nothing Ventured. Let's Provoke. Then we're going to have him utilize Breaking Wave. Breaking Wave technically does not... Breaking Wave does not technically count towards a physical attack, so Utsusemi will not activate, which is okay, I guess. We're going to be utilizing Nothing Ventured again, and then just regularly attacking Kikyo. She's going to be on the offensive here, so I need to be fairly careful. I'm going to have Ring a Bell... Actually, he'll just heal this turn. And I'm going to have Idia default this turn as well. Withering Ripple is still not active, so we'll just default. Shippy Jinrai, this is a slow parry, though. Slow parry again, wow. Nothing Ventured. And then we're going to have Tiz attack to remove the Utsusemi. Since she dodged our attack, she utilized the Transience. But thanks to our defense bonuses, she didn't really do too much. We're going to have Tiz default and have Ring a Bell continue the special move stuff with Lux. And then we're going to have Idia default again. And do we have Withering Ripple yet? Nope. Okay, then we are just going to have Agnes upgrade our defense. The general strategy with this fight is we're basically going to set up our buffs, and as soon as Utsusemi is removed from her stats, we will then go full offensive. We're going to throw Tiz at her again, and then we're going to have Idia Brave and utilize the crit rates bonuses, and they're just going to have her poke. And unfortunately, we don't really have any real means of dealing decent damage right now on Agnes, but I still want her to activate her fire abilities. Just do some chip damage. There's the Blessing. Okay, Tiz gets rid of the Transience and Utsusemi, so Idia has no problem dealing with actual damage. 9,999. Very, very good damage there. Unfortunately, Kikyo has a lot of evasion, so she is very good at dodging and evading our attacks. I'm going to have Tiz utilize Nothing Ventured, actually, just in case he decides to get hit. And then I'm going to have him prep a Shell Split. Then I'm going to have Ring a Bell just heal Tiz. Idia defaults. And Agnes utilize Withering Ripple. This will give her a fire weakness, similar to the Kami-Izumi encounter. Unfortunately, Shibu Jinrai decided to activate there, and she took down Tiz in one final hit. But now she's weak to fire, so Idia's going to be doing a lot more damage now. There's the Blessing. We're going to have Ring a Bell, Phoenix down Tiz, and then Blessed Shield everyone. That'll be active on his turn. And then we're going to have Idia just go ham on... Actually, I'm going to default and hope that Kikyo decides to default this turn. And then on yes, we're just going to be singing, and we'll increase our physical attack. We're going to default one more turn. There's Utsusemi again. We're going to default one more turn. Okay, she's braving this turn. Oh my goodness, she decided to take him down again. Alright, we're just going to repeat the same strategy from earlier. And then we're going to have Idia just go ham. Even if she decides to default, this should still do some decent damage, as she is now in the negative. And then we're going to have Agnes reset some of Idia's BP. So, there we go. Oh, she blocked the judgment! No! That's okay. That's okay. Heal up. There's one more for you. And we're gonna have Tiz abuse the piracy attacks. No! There we go. Double damage, double damage, double damage. And nothing ventured. And then we'll have Idia default. Our debuffs are gone, but we can still apply some stuff. Let's apply a physical attack bonus to everyone. Nothing ventured. There's love power. Double damage. This deals considerable damage. There's Utsusemi again. Unfortunately, there's not really much we can do against Utsusemi right now because Tiz is in the negative. I could technically have Idia go and throw herself at her. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. We'll just have Ringabel heal, and we'll just have Idia poke her. And Agnes can activate Got to Your Back. There's the damage this person. It's okay, it's gonna happen again, but we'll be okay. We'll be ready to take the damage. Transience, the damage this person activates. And then, we lost our fire weakness, which is unfortunate. So we'll just have to play normally. Let's just poke her twice. And then, Agnes, we will... Let's see here. Our defenses and attacks are pretty good, so let's actually increase our speed. Oh my goodness, there's a counter, thanks to Swordmaster. It was a 2,000 damage counter. Pretty good. Keeping ourselves steady on HP is very important here. So probably activate Utsusemi here fairly soon. So we'll need to keep our eyes out for that. So let's go ahead and have Agnes. Let's go ahead and have her sing and keep our defense buff up as much as possible. There's Utsusemi, so we'll have Idia break that. There we go. There, we're healed up. We'll have Tiz go ahead and push the revoke button. Actually, no, we'll have him default. And then Ringabel, we're running low on MP on Agnes, so let's compound a quarter elixir and give that to... Actually, I feel like it's a bad idea. Let's just give her 2 ethers. Yeah, quarter elixir's fine, especially if she ends up taking damage this turn. We'll have Idia pop the Utsusemi. And then we'll have Agnes apply some more damage bonuses. Kikyo has lost her defense down, so that's bad. And of course, there goes Agnes. There's Utsusemi, and Transience gone. So we'll have Tiz go ahead and activate his Shell Split. We will have Ringabel go ahead and Brave twice. Let's go ahead and just have him Phoenix down, and we'll go ahead and have him Blessed Shield. And then Idia, since Transience is gone, we'll go ahead and have her utilize Horizon and then poke. Actually, poking is not really the best use of my time, so let's go ahead and just have her use Judgment. Shell Split, physical defense down. Down again. Here's Horizon. This is going to do a lot of damage. 5,000 damage right about. 16,000 HP left. Judgment. Ooh, that's 6,000 damage. Let's go. Alright, she doesn't have much HP left. Tiz. We go full offensive. Then Agnes default. And that's the fight with Kikyo, the ninja, the final member of the Black Blades. That fight is a little bit of a puzzle, as her Utsusemi technique and Transience pair is a very dangerous combo for physical-focused teams like mine. So, you've got to play around it a little bit. Damage Dispersion is very useful there, as most of her damage output comes from Shibu Jinrai, which, unfortunately, you can't really do much to work around other than make sure that you're healthy at the beginning of each turn. So, just find a strategy that works for you. Magic comps are very strong here, and you'll be golden. We got a lot of level ups here. Everyone's 43 now. And Anya's gained a job level and learned Buff Up. And Tiz gained a job level and learned the Counter Support ability. And for our troubles, we earned a kunai. And that's the final member of the Black Blades finished off. And for our troubles, we obtained the Ninja Asterisk. The Ninja, a fast, dual-wielding fighter that has high power when dual-wielding and favors daggers. Their specialty is dual-wield, and their job command is ninjutsu. Their stats are fairly middle of the road, with their dexterity and agility being their highest stat, and their strength being fairly respectable as well. Their arms aptitude shows that they mostly favor daggers, though katanas are a decent substitute. And honestly, this is one of the few times where their primary weapon, the daggers, are not exactly their best weapons, as daggers have a fairly low potency. So, investing in katanas might actually be a very good idea. In terms of their arm aptitude, they aren't the most durable job, and while they do have means of, I guess the best way of saying it is they could be an evasion tank, they are not ones to take hits. They're going to want to avoid hits as much as possible. The ninja's moveset primarily focuses around doing a lot of damage and having very high accuracy while doing it, while also being able to increase their evasion and utilize abilities that work around their evasion. The ninja is mostly a utility job that is focused around dodging enemy attacks and retaliating with heavy attacks. The ninja has a lot that you can do with it, even outside of their evasion-based attack set. And I am very excited to show off what I can do with this job, as it will definitely be a mainstay in my lineup.
Any last words before you meet your maker?
So, the ninja chooses to remain silent upon her death?
You think? It looks like she has something to say. Look, she's changed her disguise again.
I failed to assassinate the Shieldbearer Commander, but at least I was able to eliminate 2 of the Shieldbearer officers. Not a bad result. All said, unfortunately, the wind vessel I had used as bait actually appeared. There was no way I could have anticipated this turn of events. Perhaps this is what I get for taking the fire vessel's life. My punishment for not heeding the Swordmaster's warnings. It was a regrettable misstep. If only the fire vessel had not ignored my warning and leapt into the lava pit.
What did you say? What happened to the fire vessel?
It's no use. She's dead.
I owe you and your companions a great debt, Wind Vestal. Though we lost 2 of our officers, I consider it a blessing that you and my wife escaped unharmed. I have done my wife a disservice. I was not able to trust her completely.
It was a tough situation we were placed in.
From now on, I'll do my best to spend more time at home, even when I'm busy.
That would certainly set me at ease. It gets lonely in this big house by myself.
Commander Goodman! Officer Steiner! Officer Neuer! Are you alright?
I am unscathed, as are my wife and the Wind Vestal's party.
I'll get the door open now! Please stand back!
That's one banquet I won't forget.
That certainly will not be a banquet I will forget either, Idia. Ooh, that was some heavy stuff. I think we need to sleep that off. So, we obtained a new asterisk, which is very exciting, and I'm sure we'll be able to see what that has in store for us. But as we're signing off here for the day, as I'm sure we all need a break after that heavy load we just had to deal with, what if we could have saved those officers, Officer Steiner and Neuer? What if we could have seen through Konoe Kikyo's ruse earlier? Well, thankfully, you don't have to worry about that, because if we start the side quest again by resetting our save file, let's see what happens if we try to do something different. As soon as Natasha is presumed dead, and we have entered this first phase of questioning and her body has been moved to the bed, Ringabel wanted to investigate Natasha's corpse, as we can see in this cutscene right here.
Poking around isn't going to bring her back, Ringabel.
Yes, I know. I'm well aware, but show some...
We can see that Ringabel is obviously very questionable about this corpse, as he might have some conjectures about it. If you decide to, and if you know this ahead of time, that obviously Natasha is the culprit, you can sit here and inspect her corpse. If you inspect her corpse 17 times total, something interesting will happen.
Ow! Whoa! The body spoke! So you have discovered my ruse. I never expected you to notice I was merely posing as a corpse. How clever of you.
Ha! Just as I suspected!
You're right.
I have yet to slay my mark. Trust the Wind Vessel and her troop to show up at the worst possible time. Well, it seems I have no choice but to kill you all, just as I did the Fire Vestal 3 years ago.
You were the one who took the Fire Vestal's life?
Then you are a member of the Black Blades? Who you sure talk fast.
That is correct. I am Konoe Kikyo, professional killer and leader of the Black Blades covert forces.
She's gone quiet. I've seen this woman near this residence before. She was just my type, so, I mean, she looked suspicious, so I chased after her, but she gave me a swift rebuff.
What? You mean this is the girl you were chasing after that time?
Here she comes!
After interacting with Natasha's corpse 17 times, you can begin the fight with Konoe early and save the two commanders. Obviously, her fight is the exact same. You can just tackle this encounter a bit earlier. So, I'll see you at the end of the fight. That fight went way better than my first time. And we get the same reward no matter what, of course. We already know what everyone gets. And this kunai is still the same. We, of course, still get the ninja asterisk. No change about that. Very excited to show off this job. Here we go.
Any last words before you meet your maker?
So, the ninja chooses to remain silent upon her death?
You think? It looks like she has something to say. Look, she's changed her disguise again.
I used the turmoil as the war drew to a close to finally round up the Shieldbearer Commander and his 2 top officers, but all of my effort has been for naught. All was going to plan until I used the Wind Vessel to lure my victims, and you all come sauntering in out of nowhere and ruin everything. That is the last time I trust alternates for information. I pitted Officers Steiner and Neuer against each other for all that time. Yet you got me in the end. Wind Vestal.
She got that off her chest quick.
Thank you, Wind Vestal. You and your companions have saved me from an early grave.
You have my eternal gratitude, Wind Vestal. The Shieldbearers could have lost their leadership before the war drew to a close.
Indeed. Just as we let our guard down, we walked straight into this deadly trap.
All the slander I'd heard about Officer Neuer could have been the work of the enemy as well.
It was silly of me to assume that Officer Steiner was after Commander Goodman's position, now that I think of it. As Joint Chiefs of Operations for the Shieldbearers, it is terribly embarrassing to fall into the enemy's snare.
Don't worry. Even your commander fell for their ruse completely.
Of course! I've got it!
Just what is it you've got?
That death threat. It's all starting to make sense now.
What is? How about filling in the blanks?
The enemy had spread rumors and slander about Officers Steiner and Neuer over a long period of time. That death threat was undoubtedly a devious scheme to bring their suspicions of each other to a head.
The invitations bearing the name of the Wind Vestal, savior of these lands, and the hint that Commander Goodman was targeted.
At very least, it would have driven a wedge between the three leaders of the Shieldbearers.
Providing a chance to kill. I see.
Daniel! Nastasia is in the cellar!
What? Is she unharmed?
Yes. She was drugged and is still a little woozy, but she is safe.
I see. Thank heavens. From now on, I'll do my best to spend more time at home, even when I'm busy.
That would certainly set me at ease. It gets lonely in this big house by myself.
We'll arrange it so the commander is able to get home more often, Mrs. Goodman.
I appreciate it.
Well, that's case closed. Now we just have to get the door open.
Commander Goodman! Officer Steiner! Officer Neuer! Are you alright?
Oh, you sure took your time. Yes, we're all fine.
I'll get the door open now! Please, stand back!
Don't make too much mess.
It's a more positive conclusion. We are able to save everyone, as long as you know ahead of time who the culprit is. Totally something that happens in real life. But, yeah, that's the Black Blades done and done. It's been a long time coming. They've been a thorn at our side for a long time. But thankfully, if all things go well, the Shieldbearers get to live on and potentially close out this war. It's entering its final stages, that's for sure. And I think, with that, we can bid farewell to Eisenberg and Heartschild. So, next time on Bravely Default, we're going to be heading back to Grandship and making our preparations to head towards Eternia, where the final crystal, the Earth Crystal, lies. So, with that said, I'll see you soon.